Yo, what is up, guys? It's Bruin Steel here, and that's how you fucking do it. The Boston Celtics defeat the Miami Heat in Game 4 last night, 102-82 to tie up the series. And the series is now tied at 2, going back to Miami for Game 5 Wednesday night. And wow, what a unbelievable basketball game. We redeemed ourselves from a horrible Game 3 performance. We did not have Marcus Smart in this game because he was dealing with the injury. He was dealing with a leg injury. Game 3 was a horrible game. He went out, but he came back, and then it was the coach's decision that he was going to sit this one. But Derek White, man. Derek White played an unbelievable game. Look, he only had 13 points, but Derek White showed up last night, and look, Derek White looked like the all-star. The Miami Heat from the get-go, they looked like idiots out there. All 5 of their starters were just horrible. Like a combination of 18 points. That's just that. Jimmy Butler. You saw Jayson Tatum's 10-point game in Game 3 was bad. The Miami Heat's all-star player, Jimmy Butler, only scored 6 points. Like, let me look at this real quick. PJ Tucker, 0 points. Jimmy Butler, 6. Adebayo, 9. Kyrie Lowry, 3. And then Strauss, 0. Highsmith, Martin had 12 points. Demon had 7. The only person that pretty much showed up for this game was Victor Lupio, whoever his name is. He's 23 points. But talking about this game, what unbelievable effort. Look, the Miami Heat were just horrible in the first half. Well, they had a little surge in the end of the second half. But first quarter, the beginning of the game, you got Derek White looking like an all-star. Derek White with some points. Jayson Tatum with a layup in the M1. Al Horford, man. Al Horford, I'm going to talk to you guys about Al Horford in a minute. But Derek White had an unbelievable game. Al Horford had an unbelievable, once Robert Williams III is healthy, shit's going to happen. Al Horford gets a nice lob to alley-oop to Robert Williams for the jammed. And then we had Derek White. Derek White throwing an unbelievable alley-oop to Jayson Tatum for a dunk seconds later after. And, just Grant Williams was shaken up a little bit, holding his shoulder, and then he went to the free throw line. But overall, this was a great win. Peyton Pritchard showing up. Looking at the stats, Jayson Tatum redeemed himself. 34 minutes on the floor for Jayson Tatum. He was 8 and 16 field goals. He was 1 and 7 in three-pointers. He shot that 1-3. The amount of time that he went to the free throws was insane. 14 and 16 at the free throw line for Jayson Tatum. He had 8 rebounds, 7 defensive rebounds, and 1 offensive rebound. He had a total of 31 points. Al Horford. So I want to talk about Al Horford. Look, he was pretty quiet, but 33 minutes for Al Horford on the floor. He was 1 and 2 in field goals. He was a perfect 1-on-1 for three-pointers, and he was 2 and 2 at the free throw line. He had a total of 13 rebounds. That's why we got you, Big Al. Down low, Al Horford, 13 rebounds. Look, the rebounding is so important, There was one part, I believe we had Robert Williams III and Grant Williams down low, and then we kept missing the ball. Grant Williams was trying to get the ball. He couldn't. Robert Williams tried to get the ball. It was nonstop until Robert Williams got the rebound and tipped it in. That's what we need to do, rebounding. Al Horford, he had 5 points, but he was, the crowd loved him. Look, if you guys haven't seen my, fourth quarter reaction I was talking about Al Horford, we did so much to bring this guy back because we traded him away, but he came back to us. But he had 4 blocked shots, unbelievable blocked shots. And then he was pumping up the crowd. He was high-fiving the crowd. He had 5 points. Robert Williams III, 19 minutes on the floor. He was 5 and 4 from field goals. Didn't have a three. He was the perfect 4 and 4 at the free throw line. He had 9 rebounds and he had two blocked shots. One of them was a really nice one. He had 12 points. Derek White, 41 minutes on the floor. He was 4 and 14 in field goals. He was 1 and 8 in threes. He was 4 and 6 in free throws. He had 13 points. Jaylen Brown, 29 minutes. He was 5 and 20. Not with the best field goal percentage, but he was 1 and 6 in three-pointers. He was 1 and 2 in threes. He had 12 points. Grant Williams, he had 37 minutes, 1 and 8 in field goals, 1 and 5 in three-pointers, and he was 4 and 4 in free throws. He had 7 points. And pretty much the Heat brought out their, bench players. So we pretty much brought out Morgan, Fitz. Aaron Nesmith started a couple times. He scored 2 points. I love the guy. He had a block. Daniel Tice had 4 points. Look, I'll say this again. Daniel Tice, I love the guy, and obviously Amiga Adoka wants to start Robert Williams III over Daniel Tice, and I agree with him. Daniel Tice needs to get a hand. Daniel Tice, 9 minutes, 2 and 3, 2 and 3 from. He was 2 and 3 in field goals. He was no 3-pointers, of course, and he didn't go to the free throw line. He had 4 points in the paint. Peyton Pritchard, he played 25 minutes. He was 5 and 8 in the field goals. He was 3 and 6 in 3-pointers, and 1 and 2 at the free throw line. He had 14 points. Peyton Pritchard, man, showed up. He's just an unbelievable basketball player. I loved him. He had a nice, between the leg. He faked it, went up, shot a shot, and it went in. Luke Cornett didn't play, so it was the DMP coach's decision, whatever. And then Nicholas Stakos, whoever it is, 2 points. At this point, pretty much, the Heat just gave up. Like the Miami Heat only scored 11 points in the first quarter. That is the NBA history for the lowest points scored in the quarter. And the starters combined only scored 18 points. And look, like I said, looking at the Miami stats, PJ Tucker, 21 minutes. He was 0 and 4 in the field goal. He was 0 and 1 in 3. He did not go to the free throw line. He had a total of 3 rebounds. 2 were offensive rebounds, 1 defensive. Jimmy Butler rarely played. He only had 6 points, and he was frustrated. At the end, it's like look, I'm not a Heat fan, but all you Heat fans, if your starters play like this, you ain't gonna win the series. You're gonna get butt wiped if you play like this. If you do make the finals for some odd reason, the Warriors are just gonna go all over you guys. Looking at Bam Adebayo, 28 minutes, 3-5 from field goals. He's 0 threes. He was 3 and 5 at the free throw line in 9 minutes. 9 points, sorry. Kyrie Lowry, 21 minutes, 1 and 6 from field goals, 1 and 3 3-pointers. He did not go to the free throw line. He had 3 points, which was 1 deep 3 that he shot. And then Strauss, 15 minutes. He was 0 and 7 from field goals, 0 and 4 from threes. He had 0 points. You guys just need help. And then I'm looking at your Caleb Martin. Literally 25 minutes, 5 and 10 from field goals, and he was 2 and 5 of threes. He was 0 and 1 at the free throw line, and he had 12 points. And then you're looking at Dwayne Dedman. Dwayne Dedman was 11 minutes on the floor, 3 and 4 field goals, 1 and 1 at the 3-point line. He only shot 1 3. He had 7 points. And then you're looking at Gabe Vincent. Gabe Vincent, 27 minutes on the floor. He was 2 and 10 on field goals, and he only had 6 points. Pretty much the only player that showed up was Victor Alalupo, whoever his name is. Pacers fans, you're always familiar with this. 30 minutes on the floor, 7 and 16 in field goals, 4 and 7. He shot 4 out of 7 threes, and he went to the free throw line 5 out of the 8 times, made 5 out of 8 free throws, 23 points. Duncan Robinson, I can tell you this guy killed you guys at 3-pointers. Well, it was pretty much too late where this guy was hitting threes all over the points. He was 23 minutes on the floor. He shot 4 threes out of the 8. I mean, it's not bad, but he was shooting threes all over the place. He was 5 and 11 in field goals. He had 14 points. Look, I have to say this because a lot of fans are saying, oh, all we have seen in this series is rigged games because, it's blowouts, you know? I mean, pretty much they think that whoever wins Game 5 is going to win the series. And I agree, you know? Look, the Boston Celtics, it's been the Miami Heat won game. It's been back and forth. Heat winning Game 1. Celtics winning Game 2. Heat winning Game 3. And then now Game 4, the Celtics are winning. It's back and forth. And people are going to say it's probably going to be the same pattern. They think the Celtics are going to get blown out in Game 5. It's looking that way, but look, as a Celtics fan, the Celtics and Heat always, put the fans a show. They always give the fans what they want. They give a show. They give a great basketball game, but people say it's boring because it's blowout. I understand that both people, that one team can't compete with another just the same. Why can't it be like overtime? Why can't it not be competitive, But now we showed up tonight, and look, I think I can speak for every single Miami Heat fan, and this is coming from the Boston Celtics when I say this. The amount of time that you guys were called for fouls, personal fouls, it's just unreal. And look, I can sit here and make fun of you guys for, giving out that many fouls. But as a Celtics fan, I'm talking to you now, Miami Heat fans. I can say that most of them are pretty questionable. You're looking at the camera. I was like, oh, how is that foul? It's a little questionable, but it is what it is. But some of those, excuse me. Some of those, calls I thought were questionable. Some of the calls I thought were against us, but it's basketball. You gotta, accept it. But, look, the story of this series was just making shots, no turnovers. And looking at, I want to look at the team stats real quick because this was just, yeah. So, field goals for team stats. The Miami Heat were 30 and 90. They were 33.3% from field goals. The Boston Celtics were 31 and 78. We were 39.7% from field goals. The three-pointers, we were 8 and 34. Not the best three-pointing team. And look, we had some great games that we shot multiple threes, but this wasn't our game. We were 23.5 from three-pointers. The Miami Heat shot 14 threes out of 36. They were 38.9% from three-pointers. Obviously, Duke and Robinson was killing us in the three-pointers. Obviously. The free throws, they were 8 and 14, 57.1% from free throws. Looking at the Celtics, we shot 38 three-pointers. It's just insane, the numbers. 32 made free throws out of 38. 38 free throw attempts where they only had 14. Like I said before, the amount of calls that were called against the Miami Heat were just insane. And as a Celtics fans, a little suspicious. It's just crazy. We were 84.2% from the free throw line. The rebounding was great for us last night. 60 rebounds for the Boston Celtics. They had only 39. We had 14 offensive rebounds. They had 10. Like I said, that's the reason why we won this game. The rebounding is always important. And look, the Celtics is made for a great rebounding team. If you have Grant Williams down there, Al Horford, Robert Williams III is down there doing work. Like I said, that play where you had Grant Williams and Robert Williams III, they kept getting the rebound, put it up, gets a rebound again. The Miami Heat could just getting Bam Mayo, whatever his name is, was getting bullied down there by Robert Williams III and Grant Williams. But 60 rebounds for the Boston Celtics, where the Miami Heat only had 39. But they had 22 assists. We only had 21. 11 blocked shots. Like I said, Al Horford had 4 unbelievable blocks. Aaron Nesmith also had a block. It was even 4 steals for us, and they had 4 steals. The turnovers is what killed us. It was even turnover. We had 9 turnovers last night, and they had 9. Like, we had 23 turnovers in Game 3. It's just unacceptable. And here is the highlight of the stats. This is where we improved. The reason why we won, the points in the paint. Like, if we can't shoot threes, we have to score in the paint. Points in the paint. We had 38 points in the paint. The Miami Heat only had 28. So looking at the difference, we had 10 more paints. We had 10 more points in the paint than Miami Heat, which is pretty good. 38 points. And this is what I'm talking about. The insane calls on the Miami Heat made me scratch my head. 26 personal fouls against the Miami Heat, where the Boston Celtics only had 15. That's just that. But, overall, it was an unbelievable basketball game. The first half was just a ass whooping by the Boston Celtics, and it's the first time the Miami Heat has not made a field goal for the first 7 minutes. I believe they did not shoot a field goal for the first minute of the 7 minutes. It was like they haven't shot a field goal for the first minutes of the game, so it's a history. And then 11 points in the first quarter for the Miami Heat, which is the lowest points in the quarter. And literally, it's almost halftime, and they literally only have 33 points, and that's just like wow. Because it was like at like 20, it was like the Boston Celtics was bowling them down low. They were making shots. It was insane. And I did a fourth quarter preview video, reaction video. So if you guys haven't checked that out, be sure to do so. But anyways, I'm not going to talk about this game too much. Thank you guys for watching. This is my post-game video. Game 5 is, I believe, Wednesday night. Yes, Wednesday night in Miami. And as the Celtics look, I'll say this. If this Celtics team can go to Miami and win Game 5 and take a 3-2 series lead, going back to Boston Game 6, that'll be huge. That is what I am hoping that would happen. But knowing that this series is going back and forth, who knows? But anyways, I'm getting out of here. The Celtics tie up the series at 2 as we look to go up 3-2 in the series with a Game 5 series lead in Miami Wednesday nights. We get the job done 102-82, and I am out. Go Celtics. See you guys later.